Hello, and welcome to the Naugatuck Valley Community College Video Orientation to DegreeWorks. This brief orientation aims to facilitate your academic planning as you work with your academic advisor to achieve degree completion. To participate in this tutorial, you must know your student ID number and have the DegreeWorks orientation handout along with a pen or pencil with you at this time. Note that accessing DegreeWorks will reveal personal information regarding your academic progress and achievement, so please plan accordingly. DegreeWorks can be accessed from your mycomnet.edu homepage. Please select DegreeWorks now. A quick glance at your personal report will reveal the types of information available here. The first piece of information that you need to access is the name of your faculty advisor. Please write the name of your faculty advisor in question 1 on your worksheet. This name is actually a hyperlink to your advisor's school email. As you know, all first semester students at NVCC are required to meet with their advisors to release their advising holds. So, using formal email protocol, you can use this link to address your advisor to ask for an advising appointment. Using Professor or Mr. and Mrs., dependent upon their role on campus, identify yourself as an advisee in the subject line of the email, as well as in the body. Include your student ID number and ask to schedule a meeting at a mutually convenient time. You may list any preliminary questions you may have as well. At the end of this tutorial, you will be given the opportunity to send this message to your advisor if you so desire. The next piece of information to obtain is whether or not you have any holds on your account. An academic or administrative hold on a student's record will restrict that student from performing certain actions, like enrolling for classes, until that hold is resolved. Look here in the second column of the Student View section of the report. In our example, the student has no information listed, so he has no holds. Again, all new students should have an advising hold on their account. Other types of holds could be immunizations, for example, mumps, measles, or rubella, accounts receivable, or library. See if you have any holds and circle yes or no on your worksheet. If you do not know the appropriate course of action to take in response to a specific hold, please ask a CAPS counselor or the registrar. Now let's review degree information. The degree program you have chosen is provided here. Note that the letters AA designate an Associate of Arts degree and the letters AS an Associates of Science. Please write your degree as listed in question 4 of the worksheet, and then in question 5, answer whether or not your recorded degree status is correct. If your listed degree is not correct, you may access a list of degrees at the Naugatuck Valley Community College website. To refer to the academic catalog, please go to the quick links, and you will see here the catalog. After selecting the catalog, you will have the options to choose the degree programs, certificate programs, course descriptions, or to search courses. We want degree programs. After accessing degree programs, we'll see a comprehensive list of every associate's degree offered at Naugatuck Valley Community College. As you can see, along with the name of the degree, we have the program description. And if we open up this drop-down menu, we will see the program requirements. It's important to note at this time that program requirements are composed of competencies. The words competencies and program requirements are interchangeable. There are numerous competencies that make up a degree. In this particular degree in accounting, we have aesthetic dimensions, written communications, and this requirement or competency can be fulfilled by choosing any course within a certain category. Continuing learning and information literacy competency or requirement can be filled only by CSC 101 Introduction to Computers. The critical analysis and logical thinking written communication requirement or competency, again these words are interchangeable, can only be fulfilled by taking English 101 composition. Each one of these degrees on this list is a hyperlink to a same program description in a record of the program requirements. This is the CSCU pathway transfer. This is for any of the degrees to transfer into a CSCU degree program, baccalaureate degree program, art studies, biology studies, business studies, chemistry studies. Program description, program requirements. If at this time you want to change your degree, you may go to the registrar's office to obtain a change of major form. Now that we have completed the preliminary review, let's go deeper into your individual degree requirements. Look here to see how many credits your degree requires. As you know, all NVCC associate degrees require somewhere between 60 and 63 college-level credits. How many total credits does your degree require? This degree requires 61. Unless you have transferred credits from another accredited college or university as a new student, you should have the same number of credits applied as are in progress. Let's scroll down to the bottom of your report to review the In Progress section, which should reflect all your college credit-bearing courses you're taking this semester. How many of your current credits are in progress to being applied toward your degree? How many of your credits are not being counted? Many students at NVCC test into college readiness classes in either or both math and English, which must be completed successfully as prerequisites before they are able to enroll in college-level courses. If you have courses in the Not Counted section of your report, they might be developmental courses. Look at the course number listed here. See the preceding 0 in English 096? That 0 designates college preparedness status. These courses are prerequisites for college-level work, so they must be successfully completed, typically with a C or better, in order to progress to the next level. Now that we have covered how DegreeWorks categorizes your coursework, let's review varying course requirements. As a beginning student, it'll be helpful for you to understand the varying types of courses that culminate in an associate's or transfer degree. Hopefully you can see that DegreeWorks separates your coursework into 2 or more categories, the first being general education requirements. On this screen we see the general education requirements for a program in general studies. This section, General Education Requirements, is very similar for all degree programs at Naugatuck Valley Community College. In the left-hand column, you'll see a list of required competencies for Gen Ed. The student has completed the Continuing Learning and Informational Literacy and Ethical Dimensions requirement by taking CSA H105 Introduction to Software Applications in the fall of 2018. So that has been checked off here as being completed. Note that the quantitative reasoning requirement has not been checked off. So it is still needed, and that requirement has not been satisfied. Therefore, all the courses that could be taken to satisfy this requirement are still listed. At this time, please explore your own personal Gen Ed section. Review the historical knowledge and understanding requirement. This student took Western Civilization 1 in the fall of 2019 to fulfill this requirement. What course could you take to complete that requirement? This student took PSY Psychology 201 Lifespan Development in the summer of 2019 to fulfill the social phenomena requirement. What course might you take to fulfill this requirement? This student took Acting 1 in the fall of 2018 to fulfill the Aesthetic Dimensions Written Communications requirement. What course might you take to fulfill this requirement? Note that some of the courses that you might choose to take to complete those requirements might have prerequisites. DegreeWorks designates courses with prerequisites with a certain symbol. Look here at the top of your report for the legend, which defines the various symbols used by DegreeWorks. What symbol is used to designate courses that have prerequisites? The term prerequisite can refer to a course that needs to be completed prior to that course, or it could refer to a test score on an SAT, Accuplacer, TOEFL, or could refer to required permission from a program coordinator or associate dean of a division, or actual acceptance into a degree program. For the most part, however, prerequisite refers to a course that must be completed successfully, typically with a C or better, prior to being able to enroll in that course. It has been mentioned earlier that DegreeWorks uses a legend at the top of the DegreeWorks report to provide the symbols used to designate certain criteria. Note here that a check in a green box means that the degree requirement is complete. This red highlighted box means that the course requirement or degree requirement is not complete. Here we have some other criteria: nearly complete or complete except for classes in progress. This T, enclosed in parentheses, designates that a course, a class, has been transferred from an accredited college and university. This symbol, this little red cross, designates that a course has a prerequisite. When we scroll down and we see here this competency has been completed, this requirement or competency in quantitative reasoning has not been completed, and therefore it is listed as still needed, and we see all the courses that could be taken as options to complete this requirement. What symbol do you see here? Note that this is the symbol that denotes that these courses have prerequisites. Now that we've become more familiar with prerequisites, let's look at another student's academic plan. This student is a first semester student, so as you can see here, she has 4.5 credits applied toward her degree in general studies of 61 credits. More classes are listed as still needed. Let's look at the Continuing Learning and Information Literacy Ethical Dimensions requirement. Here are the classes that could be taken to fulfill this requirement. And as you can see, CSA 105, DAT 101, Economics 102, all require prerequisites. If we select one of these courses, we'll find out that it's a hyperlink. And we'll see that within that dialog box, we have courses that are offered. If we scroll down, we'll see here, Spring 2020. Here are the 3 DAT 101 courses offered in this semester. But if we scroll up, we'll see the actual prerequisite for this course, CSA 105, minimum grade of D-, or CSC 101, minimum grade of D-. I'll shut this dialog box and access another. Here we have Economics 102. If I select this, we see that, again, Economics 102 requires a student to take Economics 101 prior with a minimum grade of D-. Earlier we talked about this requirement, quantitative reasoning, and all the math classes that could be taken to accommodate that requirement. And as you can see, all these math classes require some type of prerequisite. Now let's look at Math 121. This is applications for business and other careers. We can see here that the prerequisite is Math 095 with a minimum grade of C or other classes that could be taken with a minimum grade of C, or various test scores, SAT, AccuPlace, or ACT. These are coded so your advisor will understand what test these refer to, but as you can see, test scores could also be a prerequisite for the ability to take a class. Now that we have reviewed the general education requirements required of all majors, let's review the electives section of the report. If we scroll down, you'll pass all the competencies and then you'll reach the electives section of your specific degree report. Electives are optional courses that students can choose to study. Some electives are open, or any class in the course catalog, while others are restricted as part of a specified group of classes or categories. For this program, General Studies, a student must choose a total of 9 credits from at least 3 different groups in order to satisfy the restricted electives. This particular student chose to take an art class, a psychology class, and a business class in order to fulfill the requirements of 3 different groups: liberal arts, behavioral and social science, and business. Please look through your course of study and see whether or not your degree requires electives. How many credits of restricted electives are you required to take? How many credits of open electives? Please record these numbers on your worksheet. Hopefully by now you are much more comfortable with this valuable resource. Before we close the tutorial, however, I would like to give a quick review of what we've covered thus far. If you can follow the cursor, you can see that here is the degree that you are currently enrolled in. Here is your advisor's name. If you can select your advisor's name, it turns into a hyperlink to access an email. Here is where the holds are listed. This is a new student, so she has an advisement hold. Once she makes an appointment to speak with her advisor, that advisor will release this advising hold. The total number of credits for this degree are 61, and 10.5 credits have been applied. This is a new student, so we see here that many of the general education requirements listed on the top half of the Degree Works report are still needed. On the left half is the list of the requirements, and on the right are the corresponding courses that match those requirements. As you can see, many of the classes have prerequisites that could either be met by test scores or by completing prior classes. Again, let's review the requirement quantitative reasoning, which can be satisfied by Math 167. This course lists Math 137, the minimum grade of C, or having scored a certain score on a placement or aptitude test as a prerequisite. As we scroll down further, we will get to the area where the restricted electives and open electives requirements are listed. And finally, we see what courses are currently in progress and what courses are not being counted in the degree. And we can see here that this student is taking an English 096 which will not be counted toward the degree because it is a developmental course. And that sums up our review of DegreeWorks. Thank you.